Hey guys, hope you're doing okay. Sorry I haven't been around in a few weeks, but let's have a catch up. So the last time I spoke to you guys, it was like the day before I was going to travel up for surgery. That was about 7 weeks ago, if I'm correct. So yeah, 7 weeks ago, I went up for my top surgery. I went with Dr. Milroy in London, as I'm a Welsh patient and I only have the option of 5 surgeons. So yeah, I went with Dr. Milroy in London in St George's Hospital. So I'll just take you through my experience and, sort of what happened and, what to expect if any of you guys are going to go with Dr. Milroy. So I stayed overnight in the hotel that's just outside the hospital grounds. I think it's called the Pelican Hotel. So I stayed there because I had to be in the surgical admissions lounge for like 7 in the morning. So yeah, we went up the night before, stayed over. I woke up around 5 o'clock in the morning, made sure to have a shower and take the pre-op drinks that they give you in the pre-op assessment, should you want them, which I did. So I drank those, and then I wasn't allowed anything after that point. Got to the surgical admissions lounge for just before 7, so they let you in, get your details off you and your next of kin, and then you more or less sit and wait. My surgeon came in to the lounge then. It was around, I want to say 8:30, 8:45. She had obviously a few other patients there that day for surgery. She saw me, so I went in, and she was taking me through all the risks and telling me what exactly I was having done and everything else, and filling in paperwork and all of that stuff. And then she marked me out. So I more or less had this massive like black Sharpie line all the way down, and then sort of like underneath and on and whatever, to obviously make sure she had guides of where to go. So that was that. I didn't really know what time my surgery was going to be. She only told me that I was towards the bottom end of the list, which was fine. I would have obviously preferred it if I was a little bit higher up, but it is what it is. So I went and sat back out in the waiting room. Then I got called in by the anesthesiologist, so the people that put you to sleep. Again, he took me through all the risks of being under anaesthetic and what can happen and what to expect and blah blah blah. But I've been through operations before. This isn't my first rodeo. So that went fine. After I saw the anaesthesiologist, because he said, look, obviously you're not going to be seen for a while, you'll be able to have some water now, and you should be fine for surgery. Okay. So they gave me some water, everything was fine. So we were waiting and waiting and waiting, which wasn't a pleasant experience, especially considering that I didn't have my binder on at that point, because of course I'm all marked up, and obviously all the marker pen was going to go everywhere, so I just didn't bother. So yeah, I then get called in around, I think it was around 1:30, and they tell me to go and get changed. So they give me paper underwear, which is not the most pleasant experience. They give me paper underwear, 2 surgical gowns, one to put on your front and one to put on your back. you got to put the front one on first and then the back. I learned that the hard way and did it the other way. And they give you some very fashionable stockings and some like slipper sock things. And then I get told to say goodbye to my dad's girlfriend, and I get led away to theatre. So I go in to the like preparation room. It's basically where they put you to sleep. I go in there. They lay me on the bed. They sort of take observations. So they put a blood pressure cuff on my ankle as opposed to my arm, because of course I'm being constantly monitored through surgery, so I had to have it on my ankle instead of my arm. And then he sits me up and says, okay, I've got to put these little monitoring stickers on your back. So I sat up and he looks at my back and then goes, okay, I'm going to have to put these in a place where we don't give you a back wax afterwards. Which I thought was quite funny. So yeah, they put them on, lay me back down, and they put the cannula in my hand. Everything was fine. So yeah, they lay me down flat then. The oxygen mask comes over my face, and he says, okay, you might feel that cold you were talking about, because I explained to him about a previous situation where I felt the cold going up my arm. He said, okay, you might feel a bit cold. I said, mostly put it in. I didn't feel cold, but I felt my head go in. I was like, oh, okay, there I go. And the next thing you know, I'm waking up in recovery. Now, when I first woke up, the first thing I thought of was, Jesus Christ, who the hell is sat on my chest? Because it felt that tight. It was, oh God, it was a nightmare. Everything just felt really tight, and I could still breathe properly, but it was just, it was really, really tight. I kept dozing in and out of consciousness, and yeah, so I came around, it was probably around 5 o'clock, and then they take me back onto the ward then at around 7, and yeah, throughout that I'm dozing in and out of consciousness, obviously from the anaesthetic. Bless her, my dad's girlfriend was slightly worried because obviously she hasn't seen me go through that, whereas my father has. So yeah, everything was fine. So that was the day of surgery. The day after, I get seen by the surgeon, who takes off the binder, because they put a binder on you after surgery. She takes the binder off and checks under all the dressings and everything, and says, yep, everything's looking good. The drains are looking okay, because I had drains in as well. And she said, yeah, you should be fine to have a shower today and go out tomorrow. Fantastic. So I have a shower. One of the nurses takes me to go and have a shower. And it's at this point that I see that for some reason they have shaved a patch of hair on my left leg. And I don't know why. Still to this day, I don't know why. I will ask them at my appointment with the surgeon now in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I just had this random patch of hair shaved from my left leg. So yeah, there's that. Shower was okay. I obviously had a very limited range of limited movement. So the nurse was more or less doing all of it for me. Yeah, put the binder back on and go back to my bed. But, I was sat down in the chair to make sure I wasn't in the bed all the time. then my father came, and you know they were encouraging me to walk around, so I walked up and down the ward quite a few times. I was able to go to the toilet and everything was fine. The following day then, the Saturday, I had somebody come round from my surgeon's team. She looked over the notes and said, oh yeah, you were seen by Milroy yesterday, and she said she, you know, would be fine to let you go today. I had another shower, and then it came to taking my drains out. I'm not gonna lie, those drains are probably the most painful thing I've had to endure. Because by mother of God, they hurt. Mine was sutured in, so they were stitched in to make sure that, you know, they stayed in, I didn't pull them out in my sleep or whatever. Not that you could do that anyway, but yeah, it was not a pleasant experience to have the drains taken out. But they were out. As long as they were out, I didn't really care, but they did hurt. So yeah, drains were out, dressings were changed, you know, sort of packed everything ready to go, painkillers were sorted out, even though I wasn't on anything more than paracetamol and ibuprofen, and the previous day I had like one tramadol, but I didn't like being on that. But yeah, it all depends on, you know, how much pain you've got, and I wasn't in a huge amount of pain. I was just having paracetamol and ibuprofen, so that was good. And then they let me out on the Saturday. So I went in on the 10th, and I got let out on the 12th. So, pretty good. Yeah, the train journey back home wasn't particularly comfortable, but I wasn't expecting it to be. So that was fine. I went back then the following week for a dressings clinic appointment, back at the hospital. So there, I had a nurse look under my dressings, because I had long dressings across the scars, and I had sponges over my nipples, just obviously make sure they stayed in place and everything was fine. I'll put a picture of what I mean up here, but yeah, you can probably see the long strips of dressings I had over the scars for the first week. So I had them taken off, you know, had everything cleaned up, everything was looking fine. As far as she told me, everything was looking really, really good. She took the sponges off, and said everything looked pink underneath, so my nipples had survived. Thank you, God. So yeah, the nipples survived, which is really good to know. And she gave me instructions on how to, you know, sort of keep everything clean, changing the dressings, and gave me a few supplies in order to do it, and then said to me, okay, to make arrangements with my local surgery to have more supplies if needed. Okay, fine. So as of now, or as of when I'm posting this, which will probably be on Thursday. So yeah, as of the Thursday, I am 7 weeks post-op. So I'll give you a look at my chest, so I can show you how everything is healing. Okay, so this is the binder that the hospital gave me just after surgery. So this is what I more or less woke up in. This is what I woke up in after surgery. At the dressings clinic, I asked if possible I could have like a second binder, but they didn't have these, so they gave me like a body tubey grip. I've only worn that a few times because I actually need a hand in order to get into it, so it's a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, this thing is quite annoying because, as you can see, it's rolling up like hell, more or less all the time. But I think that's probably because of my fat stomach. But yeah, so it rolls up all the time, and obviously you've got clasps down the middle, so it more or less feels like a corset half the time. But yeah, so I will show you what my chest looks like at 7 weeks post-op. The lighting's not that great in here, but I will try and show you the best I can. So yeah, this is my chest, 7 weeks post-op. The only thing I'm a bit concerned about at the moment is just this little pocket here. I'm not entirely sure what it is and whether it will go down. I will most likely ask my surgeon when I go up for a post-op appointments thing, to see my surgeon again. I will ask her and see if it, what it is and if there's anything that can be done about it. If not, that's fine. I'm just, wondering what it is. The only thing I'm also a bit worried about is, the fact that this scar, it does seem a little bit tight, but I think that's because myself personally, I haven't been doing like my scar care as much as I thought I would be. And the fact that, you can sort of see that this scar wiggles a little bit more than this one. So yeah, but it is what it is, and chances are when everything sort of stretches out a little bit because everything's still quite tight, and once I massage and everything, hopefully it should loosen up and everything should be right as rain. So yeah, I'm incredibly happy with, where everything is at the moment. My nipples are incredible. They are absolutely amazing. I can't feel them, but but yeah, my nipples are in the right place for me. I know a lot of people will probably be looking at my chest and thinking, the scars aren't entirely even, but my chest beforehand was uneven to begin with, and I think it was this side. This side was like wider than this side, and my chest wasn't exactly symmetrical, and I didn't have like a decent gap in between either. So my surgeon even said beforehand that I was going to be a difficult one, a difficult one to do. So I was prepared for that to begin with, but I'm incredibly happy with how everything turned out. I really am. I will put pictures. I'll put pictures now of how I've gone through recovery. As of now, I'm 7 weeks post-op. I've got my appointment now to see my surgeon in 2 weeks' time, so I'll try and see if I can catch up with you guys after that point. But yeah, so I'm absolutely over the moon with the fact that I've even got to this point. I didn't even think that this point would be even possible. It seemed like top surgery was just like such a long way away when I first started transitioning, and now that it's actually happened now, and it's incredible, absolutely incredible. I literally just want to take my shirt off at every given moment. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I do apologise if it is a bit long, but that's my experience with top surgery. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you've had top surgery or are thinking of getting top surgery in the near future. Give this video a like if you liked it, and if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. I would hopefully like to be doing more of these videos, but at the moment I can't really guarantee anything. One, because my mental health hasn't been great as of late. Nothing to do with top surgery. I've just been struggling a little bit lately. So yeah, my mental health hasn't been great. Two, I've probably, as you can tell, I've moved into my student house. And I've literally just started back at university, so everything's kind of like, being thrown in the deep end more or less, and obviously trying to make sure that I sort of take it as easy as possible when it comes to recovery, and making sure that I'm taking care of myself, and everything else. So, yeah, that's all I have for this video. Yeah, like I said, if you liked it, thank you very much. And I shall see you next time.